Just want to say that you have recorded a video where you go really deep on this, on the upcoming crash that you say is going to be fast, bloody, and unavoidable. But you also explain how people can position themselves to profit from it. Again, people can watch that video at londonreal.tv/Jim. I highly recommend everyone watch that video. It won't be available on socials. You know, they're running out of ammo. They've been running out of ammo for a long time. And even though no one's really looked into how big this is, if you run the numbers you just put out, this is massive, maybe the biggest in history. And
Right.
so it's going to get to a point where they literally won't have the capital reserves, because it's all about confidence as well. And if you don't
Correct.
believe that if you're not confident they have the reserves, then it's no longer about the banks, no longer about the Fed, it's about the dollar. And when the dollar fails, like you said, you got to go back to the 1350s. I don't even want to consider that scenario because it's the strongest fiat currency in the world. So what the hell do we go back to? Gold? And does Bitcoin go to 1 million? I mean, what else is left? Cattle? I mean, what are people using? I don't even know what that doomsday scenario looks like, Jim.
Well, it's funny you say cattle. I just, I'm a geek. I was studying the British Zulu War of 1879 the other day, but
Okay.
the currency of the Zulus was cattle. It was like a little thing on Wikipedia. It's like currency, cattle. So it works in certain places. But yeah, okay. So we've gone through all the bad news. So how about a little good news? I'll leave the Bitcoin thing to others. It has its place. I'll leave that to other experts. But as far as gold is concerned, there are many, many failures on the parts of government and regulators, the Chancellor of the U.S. Treasury, ECB. We talked about a lot of them. But the biggest single failure is taking everything for granted, assuming that whatever occurrences happen, whatever bailouts are constructed, that the dollar itself will not be called into question. And there is no legal limit on the amount of dollars the Fed can print. There isn't. There used to be. As late as 1968, the Fed was required to keep 25% in gold. But the Treasury has the gold, but there had to be that much gold around. So your base money, your M0, could not be more than 4 times the gold supply. And earlier, that was even tighter. But they abandoned it. This is at the time of the Vietnam War, when Lyndon Johnson just wanted to print, hey, the Great Society in the Vietnam War. So they took it away. Since then, there's been no limit on the Fed's ability to create base money. So when you say, oh, well, the bailouts keep getting bigger, and they do, and the money printing keeps getting bigger, and it does. But if there's no limit on that, why can't you keep doing it? And that's how the elites view it. They're like, yeah, we'll just print as much as we can. What's the problem? But there is a limit. It's a psychological limit. It's a behavioral limit. You cross at what physicists call a critical threshold, where you've gone through the looking glass. It's no longer more of the same with a bigger balance sheet. It's like, you know what? I'm looking at your whole balance sheet. I don't like any of it. Get me out. Yeah. Now, here's where everyday people are much more creative and much more adaptable than the regulators understand. Because I made a close study of modern monetary theory, and I write about that. And Stephanie Kelton, she's the big brain professor at Stony Brook State University of New York. She's the thought leader of modern monetary theory. Also, by the way, chief economic advisor to Bernie Sanders in his 2 campaigns, and chairman of the Senate when he was chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. But that's their starting place. They're like, what's the problem? We can print as much as we want, have as much debt as we want. They actually say debt is a favor to investors. The government doesn't need the debt. Just give us the wire instructions for Lockheed and we'll send them the money. Why do we have to issue bonds and then pay them? Cut off the debt market is a favor to investors. That's actually what they say. But what she's missing, what the advocates are missing, what the Congress is missing, what everybody's missing is that people will have a revulsion against the dollar. And I remember when I was a kid in the 50s, but not that far removed from the 1930s, there'd always be a great uncle or somebody at the family reunion, and they say, you'd be like 9 years old, say, hey, kid, don't take any wooden nickels. As advice from your great uncle. Well, I was like, what's a wooden nickel? Well, there actually were wooden nickels in the 1930s. In a town, there was a severe shortage of money. The Fed completely screwed that up. Nobody wanted to borrow. Nobody wanted to lend. They weren't creating any money. And there was a shortage of money. And some carpenter in town would take a dowel and slice it and make wooden rounds, and they would stamp it. It wasn't $5 because that was a fortune, 5 cents or whatever. It was a wooden nickel. But if everybody in the town agreed, like I could go into a barber shop and get a haircut and pay for the barber could pay his assistant, and that money circulated. It was money. Money I think gold is a great form of money. It doesn't have to be gold. It has to be whatever it is. It has to be something that everyone has faith in. If you have confidence that if you take it from me in exchange for goods and services, and someone else will take it from you, and that shared belief is sufficiently widespread, it's money. That's all it takes. And so people will go find other forms of money, and they'll do it very quickly because you need money. I mean, you need a medium of exchange. Now, the obvious candidates are gold and silver. I've always recommended American Gold Eagles, 1 ounce American Gold Eagles for as a store of wealth. By the way, I'm not a gold dealer. People always go, oh, Jim's just selling his product. I don't sell gold. Buy it or not. It's up to you. Knock yourself out. But I do recommend it. But lately, I've been very interested, and then did a little work on the history of the 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagle. It's an 8-gram coin. But that was patterned on the British sovereign, and the British sovereign was not an ounce. It was 7.9 grams. But the reason was it was spendable. Like if I show up with an ounce of gold or 5 ounces of gold, it's like, well, I don't need, I don't need $10,000 worth of groceries. I probably need $100 or whatever to feed my family for a week. So that's where the 8 gram, the 1/4 ounce coin, which would be, even today, it's like $500. But better yet, the 1 ounce silver coin, the American silver. But Canada's maple leaves, and the UK has their own coins. There's a Viennese Philharmonic. There are lots of good coins around the world. But the 1 ounce silver dollar, by the way, that was the dollar in 1780. That's what a dollar was. It was copied from the Spanish doubloon. Pieces of 8, because you would break off an eighth of it, and that's why stocks were traded in eighths for a long time. But that's practical. So a 1 ounce silver coin today is worth about $25, $30, depending on the commission. Well, that's, as we say in Philadelphia, that's walking around money. I mean, you can buy a meal or, 4 silver dollars. When I was a kid, like if you were 10 years old, your parents would give you 10 silver dollars for your birthday present, but it was real silver. I mean, that stack today would be worth $300. But people can go to that. You can get the 1/4 ounce gold coin, which is, in 1910 is a good source. You could board the vessel in Southampton with your purse of sovereigns, go to Shanghai, get off the vessel. That was money good. You could spend that. No, you didn't need traveler's checks. You didn't need anything else. So people will go to forms of money they have confidence in: gold, silver. All right, Bitcoin. I don't know any, but it has its place. And get out of dollars.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex
concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.